understand what you're trying to apply when you say that. I don't really get you. You've said some very strange things, Mr. Noise. Anyway, let's just leave it at that. Let's focus this Rustore. Anyway, so the Rustore rotation that happened yesterday was very late. For me, it happened at like 30 minutes past midnight. Right now, as you can see, we haven't had the first 24 hours of sales, but I've got to bring this up. As we go over to the likes of here, we can see with the first 22 and a half hours of sales, yeah, we'll roll with that. Gold Chain's Poncho is actually selling quite ridiculously. Like, when I first saw it, I was surprised. I saw that literally this past weekend when I did my Rust Workshop skin checks, and I was looking at it and I was thinking, no, come on now, that's too silly. That's too goofy. No way Face Punch will accept something like that. And, well, they did. And they listed it for $3 a piece. And to my surprise, because I was very conflicted when I saw it, it did end up selling very, very well. So much so that, technically speaking, it sold almost double as much compared to the second best-selling skin so far, the high-quality metal base box. That's a surprise, but now to really give you some good context, it's selling so well that, do you know how last week, if we quickly hop back over to here to like my YouTube, I produced this video literally just over here, low quantity sales potential, Rust skins and investing. I discussed how the skins were selling hardly anything after the first 24 hours of sales. That Gold Chain Poncho isn't. So let's just go do a real quick comparison. Literally just last week, we had 2 Million Octopus being the top selling skin after the first 24 hours with 8,000 subscribers. That means at least 8,000 people, individual people, bought the skin. We don't know how many they bought, but we knew that was the amount of people that bought it. The week before that, Shadowborn Sheep Mildor, that had 10,705 bare minimum sales after the first 24 hours of sales. And then before that, the week before that, Shadowborn Garage Door, 11,561. After just 22 and a half hours sales, we have the Gold Chains Poncho already at 12,000. It has surpassed the momentum that Shadowborn Garage Door had. And we know where that ended up at. Just go back 3 weeks. Where did it end up at? Almost 26,000 bare minimum sales. At least 25,827 subscribers. That means, well, a lot of sales. Which could mean, do you reckon that's going to do about 30,000 sales? Oh, it's also, yeah, it's actually done 12,000 sales now. Okay, there you go. So, the point I'm trying to get across is that actually to retain its $3 price. So, looking at the state of this right now, if we were to go look at all the ponchos, and I'm on scmm.app if you don't know, I can see all the skins that were released in the past. And as I scroll down, you might notice we've never had a poncho sell for $2.99 in a Rust store before, except once. And it was the very first Rust poncho to be introduced to Rust. The Grey Wolf Hide poncho. I definitely didn't muck that up as I was trying to announce it. But yeah, that's the skin that came out in 2016. It is the only other poncho that sold at $2.99. We've had ponchos sell at $2.49 and whatnot, but rarely do you ever see something like that. So the most expensive listing in a Rust store for a poncho in a very, very long time, and it's doing very good sales, so much so that compared to all of this, it's ridiculous. So let's get to the bottom of this. Do you think it's worth the price? Chat, I ask you now, looking at this, do you think it has a good future ahead of it? Do you reckon people are going to actively want to use it? Because there's two ways we can look at this. Role players and potential people who want to deceive others. Because, guys, look at it. Does that look like a poncho to you? No. No. No, 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 no. Now, from a distance, will people be able to recognise that? Well, I mean, if everybody starts using it, then probably people will put two and two together and think, oh, that guy's wearing a big shiny gold chain. Oh, yeah, because he's using Gold Chain Poncho. Maybe it does get to that point. Or maybe it probably doesn't even properly, appear in the game properly from a distance. Maybe it doesn't render properly. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see in regards to that. But I am so surprised that actually managed to get in. I don't want to sound mean, but come on now. Look at it. Look at it. Now, with the Rust store being so late, maybe they rushed to pick their skins, These skins, it wasn't the best Rust store, but, I mean, do you think they probably rushed some of these picks? Do you reckon it was the same person who normally does the picks every single week? We discussed this, didn't we? You sound mean. I'm just being a little bit brutally honest, mate. There were so many other interesting ponchos that could have been picked over the past several weeks, and then we get that. And I talk more about in regards to the goofiness, the silliness. Is that a little bit too much for Rust? Again, your opinions. I'm probably going to turn this into a video. So YouTube, what do you think? So, yeah, a lot of people have bought it, but I know a lot of people don't like it. But it doesn't matter, because clearly there's still a lot of people that do like it. Now, if we quickly hop over to the likes of here, I mean, there has been quite a response. Hedge actually pointed out and said, ha ha ha, that got accepted, and he bought it. And then, words obviously got around, and people were clearly joking about it, bought it, are using it and whatnot. Fair enough. But now I want to show you this. So with great thanks to Mr. Hobo, who's probably in the chat right now, he's actually showcased this to me. If you look at this at a certain angle, because, with so much transparency, you can see it in many different positions where it ends up kind of becoming invisible. Now, if you can just kind of understand this, typically you would never see so much of a poncho where you can see underneath it, but because it has so much transparency, it's so much easier to notice things like this. So it looks like it's just barely hanging on, or and then you can see the very weird clip bit there. It's awkward. So again, you might say I'm being mean, but I'm so surprised that even managed to get accepted, let alone get in the top picks list. There is a bar of quality, and I feel like it's going down over the years. There's been a lot of leniency in terms of transparency. We've had transparent armoured doors, garage doors, and it ended up with sheet metal doors, and it's only getting more ridiculous. We had a rug skin last year that was so transparent, it was ridiculous. The spiderweb rug for Halloween, do you remember that? It never used to be like that. But now, everything. And I really do think that at some point we're going to just have an invisible suit. There's loads of stupid things like that in the workshop already, but we're slowly getting there, aren't we? So, yeah. Potential problems, or rather, will people buy it because they think they can deceive people? As I said, will everybody instantly notice that's a poncho? Yeah, now, at the end of the day, is a poncho going to be game-changing? Well, probably not, but in the early stages of a brand new, fresh white, I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to greatly utilise that, because not everybody's going to instantly realise you're actually somewhat geared, primitively, but better than most. So, yeah. Now, there's some comparisons I want to do real quickly. So if I can just quickly remind ourselves of the past in regards to certain other skins, you might sit there and say, but Hedge, people want it because, it's pure gold. People would like that, wouldn't they? Well, I mean, we did have a certain poncho that came out last year that was pretty much all gold poncho. Remember that? Came out in the summer of last year. Now, coincidentally, that was actually made by one of the people that made that gold chains poncho, Demon. Yeah, that sold for $2.49 in a Rust store. It's now 53 cents. And if I were to look at that properly, yep, 10,000 bare minimum sales. And, yeah. Now, Gold Chains has already beaten that in terms of overall sales. And Gold Chains still has another 6 days in the Rust store. Where do you think Gold Chains is going to end up at with its total sales? Because with its current momentum, it's doing better than the Shadowborn Garage Door. We know that ended up with at least bare minimum 26,000 sales. Do you reckon this is going to end up becoming a problem where there's going to be far too many of them being bought in comparison to the actual genuine demand of people that want to buy it? Keep that in mind, all right? Because, of course, next week, we're going to be looking at that and trying to figure out if we actually want to jump in and buy some or just stick with buy orders. So, yeah, Gold Chain is the best skin for Poncho, that's why. Okay, that's your opinion, all right? That's your opinion. And everybody's allowed to say their opinion, that's fine. But transparency, I talked about, is that going to deceive people? Will people be utilising that in a certain way, which could be a great benefit for them? Pay to win, I guess you could say. Well, I now have to bring up the likes of the Berserker cloak jacket from last year. For you see, when we first saw this, do you remember this? We thought that is going to be pay to win. We thought that is far too ridiculous. And yet, right now, we know that this sold for $3.49 in a Rust store, didn't it? It's currently selling for half the price. It halved in price. And you can see its decline initially from here all the way down to here, rose up a bit there, declined during the likes of the February time recently, starting to pick up a bit right now, but it's half the price it sold for in the Rust store. Now, I should also point out, if I can just quickly remind all of you, that did sell a ridiculous amount. It did 40,000 bare minimum sales. There you go. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did a lot of sales. Now, we never really get too many jacket skins, and that one right there was ridiculously transparent. It had a lot of hype behind it. Loads of people bought it. But it seems like people never really got to utilize it to a point where they could trick other people. Like, if it was really pay to win, why is it selling for half the price in the Rust Steam market right now? Because it wasn't as effective as what we initially thought. So could that same potential pitfall happen to the likes of this gold chains? Will we end up with a bit of an awkward fallout afterwards where suddenly they're not selling for $3 anymore, they're probably selling for about a third of the price? Or potentially even like the gold poncho right here, 50 cents. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I kind of do worry for this. I think we are seeing far too many sales in comparison to actual genuine demand. And here's how it normally works. You will have the total sales, right? I hope I'm in frame here, okay? Total sales and the actual genuine demand, the people who actually want to use it will probably only go up to about here. Right? Do you notice a problem? You've got this big gap here. All this excess stock. What's going to happen with all the excess stock? It's going to get thrown onto third-party sites, Steam Market, and various other things and whatnot. There will be potentially far too many of them in circulation, and people will compete with each other on the Steam Market to try and make a sale, and that tends to lead to the prices slowly going down, and of course that leads to some very bad problems. A very good example that happened early this year, do you remember the likes of the Legacy Kevlar hoodie and pants? I'm sure you do, because that sold ridiculously, didn't it? Because a lot of people just instantly assumed, oh, I'm going to make easy money. I'm just going to instantly make a profit, because surely we get some more Legacy Kevlar skins afterwards. We did, but far too many of these were bought. So if we just quickly go ahead and take a look on the Steam market, you will see that there is a ridiculous amount of these currently being listed. 474 on average. Every Rust skin on the Steam market has about 100 quantity on average. That has far too much. And you can see 18, 28, 12, and if I scroll down a little bit more, you'll probably see a lot more, 32, yeah. So you get all these quantity walls that build up. People notice them, they panic, they start panic selling, they unload all of their stock, and, well, I mean, very likely the guy who listed their 28 probably saw the 12 and panicked, and then someone after that noticed the 28 and unloaded his stock, and then we got 18, and then inevitably someone else probably will notice that, panic, and then unload all of his stock, and then gradually it just keeps going down. Do you understand the problem there? So, back over to the likes of this gold chains poncho. I've had a bit of a ramble. I've yapped quite a lot already, but it's only just the first 20, well, technically speaking now, I guess you could say 23 hours. What do you reckon? This is why I always say, if you're looking at a skin to try and make a profit, you know, like an investment and whatnot, never rush into it. Wait it out. Wait until Wednesday. And that's what we're doing, right, chat? Now, if you bought it for yourself to enjoy, I mean, by all means, fair enough, that's cool. You know, if you want to buy a skin for yourself, show your support, buy the skin, keep those skin creators nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But I feel like that one might have been a little bit too creative. So we shall see. Like, no hard feelings, but again, yeah, I'm still so surprised that managed to get through. Now, do you think it might actually get a continuation? So if we just quickly go to the workshop real quickly, has anyone actually asked that? Hey, are you going to make continuations? No one's asked that yet. Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me if we do. I just don't know what else you could do. Someone said, oh, if only we could get like a Mr. T mohawk. You know, hairstyles for skins would probably be really funny if they could do it, but I don't think we're going to be able to get anything that would be a continuation that would make sense to go with that. I don't know. I'll be pleasantly surprised, but of course, you know, if you want to be aware of such things, always keep an eye on the likes of the Rust Workshop, and you yourself will potentially see those continuations appear if they do appear. Now, if you don't want to get yourself set up with like a followed authors list like I do, you could always just use micro522.com. Just go to here, click the workshop, and you can see all the most recent Rust Workshop skin submissions. And to be more precise with that, click date submitted, and there you go. So these are all the newest skins that have appeared literally just the past weekend. You might see week 16 here. These are all the people that were late to the deadline. But the next batch of skins will be week 16, so consider giving that a good look. But this website also happens to have an interesting little detail, because as you notice here, we got upvotes and downvotes. We got score. What's all this about? This can actually track the upvotes and the downvotes on the workshop. So as I click the likes of upvotes, if I scroll down over to here, I can find that poncho, I believe. Where is it? Was it this week? Or no, it was a recent skin. Where is it? I can't seem to find it. It doesn't have that many upvotes. Really? Oh, no, it's right there. Sorry, I'm blind. So, yeah, that has 127 upvotes compared to 80 downvotes. So it wasn't, like, super clear. And then, of course, when you look at, like, compared to the Tomb of the Octopus Sheep Matador, that has, like, a much more noticeable difference. That's a good performing skin with a lot of support. But if I go over to here, accepted skins at the very top, click that, you can see, with a snapshot, the very second that the Rustor was accepted, right, it will take a snapshot of what the current standings were when that happened. And as you look over to here, Gold Chains Poncho, it only had 70 upvotes and 37 downvotes with an upvote to downvote ratio of 1.89. Now, as I go back over to here, you will see that since it's come out, it's received more downvotes than upvotes. More people don't like it. It's gone down to 1.59. So, what do you think? There was a whole bunch of context and words thrown at you right there, wasn't there? Do you think that Gold Chains Poncho will have a nice future ahead of it? Or do you reckon it will go below its $3 price and, well, maybe crash and burn? Or maybe just not perform very well? Maybe it just stays at $2 forever, which would still be worse, but not terrible. And of course, you know, if you were to just be straightforward with all of this, ponchos just aren't very good investments. When you look at all of that, yeah, all the recent ones at the very least. I mean, Pirate Poncho's kind of holding up a fair bit, but awkward. Yeah, very much so. So, yeah. Chat, what's your final conclusion? Are you satisfied with this? Or are you not really much of a fan? Because we did discuss this just a little bit earlier. Some people said they bought the skin, put it on in game, looked at it and thought, oh, I don't like this, and they actually refunded. And here's another thing that we considered. When you buy a skin, you automatically become a subscriber. That's why I make such a fuss about subscribers, the bare minimum sales. If you refund it, I think you still remain being a subscriber. So that might be a little bit flawed, potentially, but it's still a reasonable thing to follow with. But yeah, he says, buy blackout ponchos instead. What if they make a gold chain kilt? Is that a real thing? Come on now, let's not be too ridiculous. We've already kind of lowered the bar here, mate. Let's not go too low. Let's not go waist height. Oh, no, mate. I don't want to see what's underneath there. Oh, there'll be too much transparency then. Oh, you want too much, Pepe Kachango. I'm very sorry, mate. Okay, then. Cool. So, yeah. We'll see. I do my Abnormal Barter stream every single Wednesday, so we'll look at that. We'll see the total sales by then, and we'll make a decision in regards to how we're going to approach it. But if you only just bought one for yourself as of now and wanted to wait until when, wait it out and see if it is going to be a nice investment until then, congrats. That was a good idea. This is why we always are patient. Wait till, of course, quite literally sometimes the last second until we make a purchase. But yeah. We know it's abnormal. We'll do our abnormal barders first. We'll look at the support afterwards, and then we'll engage it and see, if there's enough support, we'll consider buying it. But as of now, I am not super positive with it. All right? But at the very least, if you like it and you enjoy it, fair enough. You go enjoy it. Not going to hate on that. Role players are going to probably have some fun. Or maybe, as I said, it's deceptive enough where people can get an advantage. But that would also potentially be a problem. So, good job, Face Punch. Nice picks. All right, then. So, yeah, okay. Cool. So, I guess that's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching. And, yeah, have fun. Oh, mate. Oh, you know what? We could probably add to this. Go on, then. Let's go add to this real quickly. So, there's an extra little snippet. Mr. Hobo, you really do come in clutch. I've got to give that to you. Thank you very much for these pictures. Right, so what do we have right here? Mr. Hobo's gone ahead and actually quickly grabbed some showcasings between, a standard poncho and, of course, the gold poncho. And from a distance, you don't really notice it. Now, you can see from there, it's got an outline of a poncho, it's quite a distance. But there, you might notice the shine and whatnot, but yeah, maybe it is deceptive. Maybe that can be utilised in a way in which it's going to be beneficial for you if you wear it. Again, what's the big specialty of a poncho? Again, early game. Think more like that. So, and at the end of the day, he's got a bow, so why do you want to let him go near you? Anyway, run away. He might be good with it. So, all right. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Hobo. I do appreciate you showcasing things like this. So, again, does that kind of steer you more towards thinking it's going to be a good skin in the future that's going to work out very well and end up quite expensive? We shall see. Chat, Thoughts? You think it's good? It's deceptive, but nothing too crazy. It won't. Fair enough. And like I said, we did showcase to you the Berserker cloak, which had even more transparency. That doesn't even look like a jacket, and yet half the price it sold for. So we'll see. And of course, we'll see how much it sells by the end. I'm still thinking it's going to get fairly close to 30,000 sales in total. Maybe it'll surpass it. We'll see. So yeah, all we can do is wait.